Hey everyone, how you doing? This is James from Wix1.com, Wix1.com, all things mobile. This is a soft unboxing for the iPhone 5S. Here's the box. There she goes. Here's the phone. I'll just put this to the side for just a second. Inside the box, usual things. Documentation. SIM key. Lightning adapter. Plug. USB guy. There's a charging block. USB style. And some earphones. The ones that fit in your ear pretty good. They're more comfortable than the usual ones. That's it. This is the iPhone 5S. It's the Space Gray Edition. It's 16 gig. It has 1 gig of RAM. It has an A7 processor. It also has a M7 processor to help with graphics and maneuverability, gyroscope, and so on. And an 8 megapixel camera with an f2.2 camera sensor. So that means there's more light coming in than other versions, and also the megapixels are larger. It also has a dual flash on the back, which is partially for white light and secondly for ambient, more yellowish, to create a better toned photo when you're in darker areas. It looks exactly like the iPhone 5. It's the same width, it's the same weight, it's the same size. It fits in the same cases. It's got new internals. And the colors are just a little bit different. There's also a gold one, and there's the white one, and then there's this new space gray version, they call it. It's a different kind of black. As far as the build quality is concerned, I found that this one is better built. The metals and materials seem to be of a better quality. It's harder versus the iPhone 5. I found that the edges would dent really quickly and scratch. I think they've changed a few things and they've made this one just a little bit better. On the bottom, our home button has changed. This is now the fingerprint sensor. And that's about it as far as the outside of the device is concerned. There's the bottom. The fingerprint sensor is pretty much a convenience. I wouldn't expect it to be anything more than that. It's not Fort Knox security. The sensor itself is something that is helpful. I wouldn't put James Bond type of secrets into your phone and expect the sensor to protect them. Not that you would do that on a cell phone, smartphone anyway, right? So it is faster, and there's very nice animations. The screen itself, let me see if I can catch some of this. It's not working so good. Too much refraction. But the font that they're using in the new iOS 7 is a little bit different. I would say it's thinner. It's a different style. Some people complain that I guess the viewability of certain things like the text is hard to see. So they have some options within the settings menu. In settings, inside of general, in a place called accessibility. In accessibility, I'll show you. Okay, so there's a few things in there. It's hard to read, but one of them says bold text, so you can bold some text. And there's another one called increase contrast. So you can, if you have a hard time reading some of the text on the new iOS 7, you can come in here and you can bold your text, and you can add a little bit of contrast, and that will give your eyes a rest and you'll be able to see better. There are other things to check out in this accessibility area. The iOS 7 uses this thing called a parallax. It's kind of like a 3D effect for your home screen and other screens. It sort of moves a little bit, and it's also a memory hog. It likes to eat up your battery quite a lot. So if you want to reduce the effect and save some battery, there's another thing in here called reduce motion. You can just turn that one on. It's in the same list where the bold text and the increased contrast is. You'll see it right after it, and you can turn that one on, and that one will help you as well. There's a whole bunch of actual good options within the accessibility area, and you will probably be happy to see them because they're really quite helpful. As far as the options, as in the rest of the phone, they're all pretty much static, what you're used to. What is different is if you swipe from the bottom, you'll get the control center. And in the control center, you basically have a few things. You've got a camera, you've got a calculator, you've got a timer and a flashlight. You've got some more settings like airplane mode, and you got your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and sleep mode, and then no rocking and turning. You can lock your landscape and portrait, as well as there's an airdrop area and some sound settings. And you just kind of swipe it down when you're done with it. From the top, you have your usual notification area, and you can set your today and your calendars and your stocks, and other things will show up there, like if you had messages or a game is letting you know something. You just swipe that up and it'll go away. The other thing that I was kind of confused about, out of the box, was where the search function went, because I was used to going from this side, being from the left, I guess. But they've moved it. You can just go from the center and pull down. So, there you go. So if you go to the center of your screen, you pull down, the search will come right up on top. It wasn't something that you can initially just find on your own. I did it by mistake like 10 times, and I didn't know where it was. So finally I figured it out, and then it's from the center, you just swipe down, and then the keyboard will come up, and then the search field will come up on the top. It was something that I didn't realize. And it's not initially easy to find, actually, so I thought it was interesting. The icons, they're a little bit different in iOS 7, as you may know. So the contact icon and the Safari icon look different. Safari looks quite a bit different, actually. It creates a whole bunch of bookmarks in your browser area. And it's kind of weird. So if you go to a few of them, then you'll see that. Let me go to a few. You can create a kind of a. Let me see if I got a cascade way of doing things. Okay, how many do I got here? I'm going to go to a few web pages, and then we will see what. Okay, so plus, I'll go to this one, and I'll show you what it looks like. Well, this one plus, and maybe one more. Okay, good. So it does that. It makes your pages kind of fold on top of each other. It's kind of an interesting way to look at your pages when you have more than one. So it's kind of nice. The camera itself in this device, like I said, it has a different light and different sensor. It's quite good. The pictures are infinitely sharper and have way better color and lighting. The white balance and other options are quite nice. Inside the camera application you have several options, one of which is panorama, which you can create a long photo, I guess. There's also square mode, there's regular photo, there's video, and there's the slow-mo you've heard of, where you can actually take something that happened in action and slow it down so you can see it better at 120 frames per second. So pretty nice options. It's the kind of quality that you might find in some kind of a DLSR, and you know, you're not having to spend the same money as having a really high-end DLSR camera, but at the same time, obviously, you're not getting manual focus and all these other things. It's more of a point and shoot, but this point and shoot gives you great quality, and the video is very nice too. It's 1080p. So overall, I would say this is a really nice upgrade as far as the iPhone is concerned. It's fast, it's efficient. I have used it with a headset. I'm using the Midnight Era Jawbone, and it's been pretty good. I haven't had any problems. I've tried many other iPhones with Blue Ant versions, like a Q2, and I've had some issues as far as quality and reception, but thus far I have had no problems with this new device. So I think that as I've mentioned with the fingerprint sensor, if you're looking for something that's got a lot of security, or you're worried about security reasons, I would stick to the password, you know, for your phone rather than the fingerprint. If you're not worried about it and you got nothing, you know, nothing that's groundbreaking that's going to be inside the phone, maybe use the fingerprint just for convenience sake, because really it is only a convenience, nothing more than that. The screen, the glass, and I guess the shine of this device it just seems to be cleaner and clearer for some strange reason. I don't know what they've done, but it really seems to be brighter. It's more vibrant than it was on iPhone 5 for some reason, which I haven't figured out yet. But honestly, I like the phone and I think it's pretty good. So even though a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, I'm just going to go without a case," well, I know how tough the devices are, but you just spend a bunch of money on it. I think you should get a case. Just, you know, just say you did, right? So usually I do. And this time around, I went and got one of these Incipio feather light cases. It's kind of like a carbon fiber type of a case. Comes with a few extra options in it. This one cost me 30 bucks. It's pretty easy. Take the phone, throw it in. 1, 2, 3, click, you're done. It's kind of a rubberized feel along the side. That's how it looks, right? The bottom and top are open. So you have pretty simple. Doesn't take anything away from the device, and it's pretty slick. It won't fall out of your hand because you got a good grip. Without the case, it's a little bit slippery, just like the iPhone 5 was. So I recommend getting a case. This one here I found to be pretty good, and I've never had any regrets with it because it's always been pretty good, and it protects the sides and the back. That's technically where most people will bump it. You can also get a shield for the screen if you want to. They are available, but overall, depending on your use and do you trust yourself, is really what the case is. So I would say if you're interested in getting an iPhone, and you haven't had one for a while, or you've had a 4S or something like that, this is a very nice upgrade to get. The build quality is excellent. The screen quality is great. The speed is there. I enjoy the email because it's at least 4 times faster than the iPhone 5. That was kind of the first thing I noticed, and I really like that because I'm kind of always looking for fast reactions as far as a device is concerned. So this is the iPhone 5. S. S stands for sensor. WIX1.com.